Okay, good evening and welcome to our regular business meeting. We're going to have our invocation this evening by Minister Ira English of Miracle Temple Ministries in Riverdale, to be followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. If you would, please stand with me. It's Minister Davis here. English, rather. Minister English here.
Maybe she was in traffic.
Okay. All right, well, we will have a moment of silence, so please bow with me. Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our May 17th regular business meeting. The first order of business is the adoption of the agenda. Do any board members have any amendments?
Yes.
Yes.
I have one. Number 17, Resolution 2022-90. It's -90 for the regular. If we put that on the regular agenda.
Madam Clerk, you clear to place that on the regular agenda.
I'm clear.
All right, and there is a scriber's error. Mr. Hancock, if you could correct that for us.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Ladies and gentlemen, in Resolution 2022-94, in the first paragraph, the fifth line down, there is a reference to the Valley Hill Road Widening Project. That resolution actually applies to the Rex Road Sidewalk Project. It is correct everywhere else, including in the operative language, which is where it makes a difference on page 2. But I would ask you to note that and to permit the substitution of the first page of that resolution before you sign it, just for the purpose of correcting that scrivener's error.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Are there any others?
Yes.
Commissioner Franklin.
We need security in the building. We have a stranger that just spoke. Welcome back, sir. I knew you were coming, so I with my stripes on. He's still the best dressed man now.
Any others? All right, hearing none, I'll accept a motion to adopt the agenda.
So move.
Second.
Properly moved and seconded by Commissioner Hambrick. Any questions? Hearing none. Those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous.
Mr. Chair, I may have overlooked it. I apologize for the proclamation because of timing, and they are public works as well, but EMS will receive one today really quickly as well, if it's okay with the board. It's already prepared. It's just to confirm what Chief has already done for the week with his folks.
Any board member have a problem with having that added to the agenda? Hearing none, we'll allow it. All right. First presentation.
We have a proclamation, Public Works Appreciation Week. Commissioner Felicia Franklin.
All right. So we'll have Public Works come down first. Can y'all please give them a hand, because these are the ones that work hard in the sun and the rain. These folks, they get up at the crack of dawn, everybody, and are out there early, making sure that we are all safe. Oh, thank you so much. It's good to see you again. Thank you. And I told them this morning, actually I was trying to make sure I didn't tear up, but honestly they're the reason that I do what I do with the board when I say I, but why I began this walk as a commissioner. Because I started doing their benefits along with PD, fire, and deputies years ago. And I realized that nobody was really taking care of my folks when they were sick or they were injured. And I had an opportunity to get to know some people, and unfortunately I found out some of them are no longer with us, but we want to pay homage to them as well in their memory. But this week is Clayton County. We're going to honor our Public Works Week, which does include our refuse control as well as water, the Clayton County Water Authority, and all of transportation. So Clayton County honors National Public Works Week. Whereas more than 30,000 American Public Works Association members in the U.S. and Canada use National Public Works Week to energize and educate the public on the importance of public works to their daily lives, planning, building, managing, and operating at the heart of their local communities to improve everyday quality of life. And whereas public work professionals focus on infrastructure, facilities, emergency management, that's why EMS is going to come up, and services that are of vital importance to sustainable and resilient communities, and the public health, high quality of life, and well-being of the people of Clayton County. Whereas these infrastructures, facilities, and services could not be provided without the dedicated efforts of public work professionals who are federally mandated first responders and engineers, managers, and employees at all levels of government and the private sector who are responsible for rebuilding, improving, and protecting our nation's transportation, water supply, water treatment, and solid waste systems, public buildings and other infrastructures, and facilities essential for our citizens. It is in the public interest for the citizens, civic leaders, and children in Clayton County to gain knowledge and maintain ongoing interest and understanding of the importance of public works and their first responders and this program as they're in the respective communities. Whereas the year 2022 marks the 62nd annual National Public Works Week, and the second time we're going to be honoring y'all in Clayton County, by the American Public Works Association and the Canadian Public Works Association. Be it now, therefore, I, Felicia Franklin, Commissioner, on behalf of the Clayton County Board of Commissioners, do hereby designate the week of May 15th through the 21st as National Public Works Week. I urge all citizens to join with representatives of the American public designed to pay tribute to these amazing heroes. Thank you all for listening. But part of Public Works Week, as you heard, is our EMS folks. So y'all come on down, come on down. And during our prayer, I neglected to ask that we have a point of silence for even our fallen officers. Because this week we're honoring fallen officers as well. I think I can hear me.
It's going to be hard to hold up. Commissioner, it's in the back, so they televise.
Oh, televised?
No.
All right, come on. So, Clayton County honors the work of Clayton County Fire and Emergency Services. Whereas May 15th through the 21st, 2022 is the 47th annual National EMS Week. Y'all got them beat. In 1974, President Gerald Ford authorized EMS Week to celebrate EMS practitioners and the important work that they do in our nation's communities. It's also an opportunity for EMS to continue to raise public awareness about the critical role of EMS in the community. Whereas CCFES, the Clayton County Fire and Emergency Services, provided unparalleled leadership, clinical and oversight support for the Clayton County workforce during the second year of COVID-19 pandemics. Starting in the last week of December 2020, CCFES was charged with providing COVID-19 vaccines to the essential workforce of Clayton County government, which quickly turned into supporting the state's vaccination efforts for state and federal government employees who qualified to receive the vaccine. And whereas the COVID-19 pandemic was allowed, CCFES CCFES to support our workforce unlike we have been able to do in the past. During this time, EMS divisions was able to support our personnel with an internal and wellness initiative. To date, CCFES, Clayton County Fire and Emergency Services, has provided a total of 8,714 vaccines. Throughout the COVID-19 pandemic, CCFES clinical team has provided contact tracing, testing, and overall management of the county government workforce. And in 2021, we also provided a clinical team that performed 3,116 COVID-19 rapid tests and managed a total of 2,146 buzz forms. You're real particular about the numbers. Whereas in 2021, we proved that it was the busiest year for Clayton County Fire and Emergency Services with an annual call volume. Y'all ain't ready for this. This one I'm fighting for that money for y'all. 51,002 calls in 1 year. A total of 39,484, or 77.45%, were categorized as EMS related. This is a great opportunity for CCFES to make some advancements in EMS supplies and equipment. This allows the quality of care provided by our pre-hospital professionals to maintain best practices and provide a quality of care that is industry leading. Therefore, I, Felicia Franklin, Commissioner on behalf of the Clayton County Board of Commissioners, do hereby pay tribute to the Clayton County Fire and EMS Services for their dedication and services. You deserve to be honored. Thank you so very much.
Next, the board will hear public comment. Citizens will be given 3 minutes maximum time limit to speak before the Board of Commissioners. State your name and county of residency for the record. Speak clearly into the microphone, and speakers should be courteous, respectful, and not make any disparaging remarks or use abusive language when addressing the board.
Rekenna Smith. Yes, ma'am. Good evening.
Thank you.
Good evening, Chairman and Vice Chair Commissioners. My name is Rekenna Smith. I'm the founder and CEO of the Adam A. Smith Legacy Sickle Cell Foundation. Foundation in honor of my late husband, who actually passed in May of 2020 from the lifelong illness, sickle cell disease. I'm here this evening to share with you about an event that we are having on June 18th. It's called the Let's Get Moving for Sickle Cell Day 5K. The overarching event is a 5K walk run health fair. The health fair component is we will be highlighting three organizations. And so the Life South Blood Community Donation Center, in collaboration with my foundation, we will be having a Badges of Life blood drive in honor of first responders and also public safety employees. And so with this Badges of Life blood drive, we have the we've got to collect, or we've set a goal to collect a total of 35 units of blood. So 1 unit of blood saves up to 3 lives. In the sickle cell community, individuals with sickle cell, they often have to have not just blood transfusions, but they often have to have lifelong, monthly, on average of 4 to 6 blood units or blood donations. And so my husband, prior to his death, he was on average going and receiving 2 to 3 units every 46 weeks. So if you think about that, that's a lot of blood, right? With the blood drive, we also, of course, would be, the blood would stay local. The second highlight of the event is we will have the Be the Match, which is a national organization that they do bone marrow transplantation matches. And so oftentimes people with, of course, cancer and things like that need to have bone marrow transplantation. Well, they're also trying to make strides as far as sickle cell disease is concerned with bone marrow transplantation. So with a quick swab that day, they will be there testing for bone marrow transplantation donors. And then we will have the Sickle Cell Foundation of Georgia, who has been around since 1971. They will be there testing for the sickle cell trait. Sickle cell disease is a genetic disease. It's a multi-system disease or disorder that literally affects every system in their body. Sickle cell disease affects about 100,000 individuals in the United States. It's a very brutal disease. And so as I've lived almost 25 years with my husband, and I can tell you he was a wonderful man, that while he had the most severe...
I'm sorry, ma'am, but your time is up. But before you leave, please tell us the date, time, and location.
June the 18th, Saturday, June the 18th, and it's going to be at the Lovejoy Regional Park right down the road.
Okay, and I think it's very commendable what you're doing in your late
Thank
husband's
you.
name, and applaud your efforts there. You can count on my wife and I being there to support it.
Thank you so much. And the 5K walk run starts at 9 a.m. and then the blood drive will go from 10 to 4.
Can it start like 9:30?
Thank you.
I have a question real quick, if you don't mind.
Yes, ma'am.
First of all, I want to commend you again for coming to share this with us. I have a very good, well, as a leader in our community who lives in Clayton County, I want to connect you with my pillar, Dawn, because actually one of our youth commissioners, and I'm okay to share it, she's actually in crisis right now. So it does affect our community, especially African-American community. So I'd like to connect the two of you all because it is a regional, it's an issue across the world in the U.S.
Yes,
but I did notice that it said McDonough. Now, are you over in that area as well?
Well, so I have a residence. I lived literally in Clayton County from 1998 until 2018. I have a residence in Clayton County, but my primary residence is actually in Hampton.
Okay.
Hampton.
Well, the only reason I asked is I thought it was interesting that both of you all are huge advocates and well-known in the same area.
Well, we actually
thank you.
met about 2 weeks ago at the Lovejoy Regional 5K.
Thank y'all for what you're
Yes,
doing.
I just met her, so I was very honored to meet her.
And God bless you.
Yeah,
thank you so much.
God bless
Thank
you,
you,
too.
ma'am.
Thank you.
Orlando Gooden.
Orlando Gooden, Clayton County. Congratulations, Madam Clerk, Commissioners, Chairman Turner. I want to do an acknowledgement. Last week was the Fallen Officers Memorial Week in Washington, D.C. I spoke to Mrs. Laxton. She told me they were going to honor her son, Officer Henry Laxton, and the memories of all of our fallen officers. On Saturday, she texted me and said it was an emotional wreck. If you want to watch the service, it's on YouTube. The 34th Annual Candlelight Vigil National Police Officers Week is one. It's all about the chairs, which was excellent, that's two, and memorial for fallen police officers. Commissioner Hambrick, you were right when you said some of the items on the consent agenda should be discussed in a work session to get an additional information for a better understanding. I agree. Include the names of the commissioners who put items on the consent agenda for agenda accountability. I said I agree. It's okay. Now, I got the answer to this question, but I'm going to say it anyway. When is the Office of Performance Management Request CP 2245 Grants Management System going to be on the work session agenda? Next week, the 9th, I think. It was not an issue of overlapping or duplication, but more a matter of cost, $200,000. But Commissioner Hambrick, you wanted a $500,000 concession stand. Taxes. We need a presentation from the tax commissioner's office. All we want to know is how our taxes, stop laughing, how our taxes are calculated. A speaker already complained that he could not get an explanation. Mandatory trash, my favorite subject. Can you give this to the commissioners, please? It's okay. All right. Mandatory trash pickup. That is the Jacobs report. You can't say you didn't see it or you weren't on the board to hear it. Since Commissioner Anderson refused to answer questions on cost, will you answer this? Mandatory trash for all rental properties, exemptions for seniors like the city of Lovejoy has. Part of the administration fee goes to assist Warden Nelson.
I'm sorry, sir, your time is up. But thank you for supporting our law enforcement community.
Where's the clock?
To your right.
Why isn't it here?
So all you gotta do is click your head.
All you got
90
to do.
degrees.
I
and you
heard
can
that.
see it. All right, I'm gonna have some problems with this name. Last name is Adegubai. And I apologize.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I actually had a patient with sickle cell retinitis.
If you could state your name for us.
Oh, Olakunle Adegbile. I was just saying I had a patient with sickle cell retinitis a few weeks ago, so I also understand the importance of keeping track, especially in the African American community. Also, Clayton County, sorry. I apologize. I know I'm likely at the wrong place, wrong time, but I'll take just 1 minute to address you all. As you make decisions, I just wanted you to keep a small group of people in mind. I am one of those few who has become a homeless veteran due to the eviction memorandum. I have been waiting for a court date for the removal of a tenant for about over 6 months who last paid rent in November. The tenant has assaulted me at gunpoint and walks around in his underwear to eliminate other tenants. So I just wanted to spend just about a minute letting you know that there are business owners out there who are now homeless or jobless due to the long wait for evictions. That's all. Sorry again if I'm at the wrong place, wrong
That's
time.
no problem.
Thank you.
Right place, right time.
Sir, can you make sure that you email us where that location is so that we can put you in contact with the judicial system?
Okay, I will. It's Ioneer Optometry Practice.
Yeah,
I
but-
thought I recognized you. Good to see you.
Thank you, sir. Brenda Harrison.
Good evening. Brenda Harrison, unincorporated Clayton County. Vice Chair Hambrick, on April 18th, 2022, I sent you an email stating that a board appointment for the Housing Authority of Clayton County had a vacancy coming on the next BOC agenda. I shared the following information with you. The current appointee did not meet the mandatory training requirements during her first 5-year appointment. The requirement states, all new appointees to the Housing Authority of Clayton County must take the Narrow-sponsored Commissioner's Fundamentals and Ethics course within 12 months of their appointment. Failure to do so shall result in a recommendation to the Clayton County Board of Commissioners to remove any member who does not attend this mandatory training, as said member would be inefficient in the performance of their duties. Having this information, you chose to reappoint said board member who has still not taken the required training. In the work session on May 10th, you stated that training for a board was a requirement, but once you get appointed, they should do training whether it's required or do it on their own. You, Vice Chair Hambrick, chose to reappoint an untrained person to a board that manages millions of dollars in this county. I must apologize to Commissioner Davis, Anderson, Franklin, and Chairman Turner for not sharing this information with you prior to the appointment, but I thought Vice Chair Hambrick would have acted in an ethical and professional manner by not reappointing a person who did not do mandatory training over 5 years ago. I ask that this board rescind the appointment and appoint someone who is willing to follow the process and serve the citizens of this county. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Patricia Buchanan.
Good evening, everyone. Okay, I am
State your name for me.
My name is Patricia Buchanan, sorry, HOA President of South Lake Townhomes, 30-year loyal resident of Clayton County. I've owned my own home for the last 13 years, paid off. I am a senior of 75 years old, and I just have a couple of questions that I'd like to address with seniors being taxed out of their homes that they own, that they're not planning on moving from. They plan on dying there, to the crematory. I would like to know why, me being on Social Security, what plan do you all have to address this with all the seniors of Clayton County who are having heart attacks right now over the rise in our taxes, our property taxes? I mean, our taxes are rising, and why should Clayton County profit, okay, off of the value of my home going up when I don't plan to leave it? Why should Clayton County profit?
Well, let me say this. You're not the only one having a heart attack. You know, several, the old, the young, and in between. Me too. Let me say this. The Board of Commissioners has nothing to do with your property value assessments. That comes from a formula that's calculated on the state level, okay, and then passed down to our Board of Assessors. And they're the ones who use that formula to do your assessment.
Excuse me 1 minute. Can I have a pen? And that was who? Whom? I'm sorry. The Board of what?
Assessors.
Okay. And they are located?
There's a Clayton County Board of Assessors located at, 121 North McDonough
Okay.
Street.
Okay.
But again, it comes from the state. So you might want to get with the state legislators.
Oh, I will. Okay.
But
and
we
so,
didn't have nothing to do with it.
Okay.
All right? Don't circle the wagons.
Okay, and that's who we need, because I have a whole following that's going to follow me up there at 75 plus or 65 plus, and we intend to address this because I have paid for my house over 13 years ago. And why should Clayton County benefit by the property value of my home going up. I totally don't get it, because I'm not leaving.
But let me also say you have a right to an appeal and
I
appeal
have.
process.
And Chairman, can I add that?
Yes,
Just,
Commissioner Davis.
I guess about a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, I did meet with the COO and also the tax commissioner to begin to think outside of the box and come up with a program exactly for that for seniors. But, you know, we want to make sure it is fiscally responsible. So we have been in discussion for something for seniors with that in mind.
I just have one more question. So residents of Clayton County who are your seniors, who you are the commissioners of, you have no plan in place for us?
We're trying to put a plan. We talked to them about a plan in place to begin to address this.
Okay, and yes, I'm angry.
With rising taxes.
But I thank
But as
you.
right now, there is no plan in place.
Okay.
And remember, these assessments just came out. Like I said, everybody got stuck at the sticker shock.
I know. I'd like to thank PD, Clayton County PD, and I'd like to thank the Sheriff's Department who have been so helpful to my community. Still need that tag reader.
And just as a reminder that your property tax is what pays their salaries too.
Well, I don't mind paying them, because
Oh, you don't mind paying them, huh?
they
Okay.
service me.
All right. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay,
Let's move
thank
on.
you.
Aretha Ensley.
Good evening, Chairman, and all the other commissioners. My name is Aretha Ensley, Clayton County, unincorporated. This is nothing personal. The reason that I keep coming up here, I think as long as the others too, is that we do care about Clayton County, and we really want to see the potential of Clayton County to really go where it needs to go. But I'm going to be another person. I'm still going to read some more of my definitions. So here I go. Positive leadership traits builds healthy relationships, integrity, transparency, humility, communicate, listen to employees, collaborate, delegate responsibility, don't shirk responsibility, have confidence, keep a positive attitude, motivate others, inspire shared vision, proactive versus reactive, show flexibility. Negative leadership traits: micromanaging, poor communication, not listening, refusing to learn from others, reacting negatively to criticism, making decisions based solely on emotion, blaming others for mistakes, showing favoritism, indecisive, deceitful, unwilling to learn, conflict creator, unethical, being a dictator, refusal to admit fault. Communication is a two-way process wherein the message in the form of ideas, thoughts, feelings, opinions transmitted between two or more persons with the intent of creating a shared understanding. The Georgia Open Records Act of Georgia Sunshine Law is a series of laws designed to guarantee that the public has access to public records of government bodies at all levels in Georgia. The Georgia Open Meetings Act legislates the methods by which public meetings are conducted. I, as well as other residents, are in the process of submitting complaints to the County Ethics Board, followed with a submission to the State Ethics Board against our commissioners Anderson and Franklin for unethical conduct, misuse of public funds, and abuse of power. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Ms. Rhonda Harris. And Ms. Harris, you're signed up for public comment. I see you got CUP here. You're wanting to speak on a zoning matter. Not at all. Okay, thank you, ma'am. Antonio White. Same? Okay. Thank you, sir. Carol Yancey.
Carol Yancey, Rich, Georgia. I too have filed against Commissioner Anderson and Franklin. Chairman Turner, special thank you to you, your wife, and our first responders for accepting our last-minute invite, showing up, and talking to our local businesses and residents this past weekend for our community engagement and voting rally. The small businesses really appreciated and saw your sincerity, actively listening to their concerns and opportunity to provide feedback, along with you and your wife support by purchasing their products with you all's own personal funds. Everyone enjoyed your presence, even though there was a short period of time when darkness arrived with negativity, but quickly left once light arrived. All in attendance paid attention and noticed that situation. As usual, darkness and light cannot occupy the same space at the same time, so light prevailed. Commissioner Anderson, your predecessor, the late Commissioner Gregory, was adamant that you not be her successor, and now we all know why. Based on everything that's been going on, your unresponsiveness, and that you have aligned yourself, along with your colleague, with people who have unethical behavior, conduct, and serve as dictators to this county and costing us money. Probably has something to do with them property taxes going up too now. It appears your group are trying to turn Clayton County into another Ukraine, Russia. Nowhere in the Sunshine Law does it state commissioners are allowed to disrespect county employees and residents with a nasty disposition, disrespectful, temper tantrums, outbursts, and condescending attitude, thereby creating a hostile work environment. On May the 3rd, Ms. O defined fiduciary duties. Somehow, Commissioner Franklin tied it to the Georgia Sunshine Law as reason for her unprofessional, immature behavior and unwillingness to communicate and respond to county employees who are highly skilled in their respective areas, due to constantly undermining the chairman and other colleagues. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, let's refrain from clapping, please. Madam Clerk, that concludes public comment.
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Anderson.
I'd like to take a point of personal privilege.
Go ahead,
I'm asking that we take a moment of silence for the loss of Dr. Andrea Cheever. Dr. Cheever was the former CEO of the Clayton Center, who I served up under as well. She worked for me. I was on the board, and she passed on last week. So I'm just asking that we, at this time, take a moment of silence for her. Also, I'm asking for prayer for one of my constituents, Miss Glenda Gates. She was in a car accident, and she's in critical condition at Grady Hospital. So at this time, can we take a can we take a moment of silence for Dr. Cheevers?
Yes, if y'all don't mind, please let's stand for a quick moment of silence. Thank you all for doing so.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you.
All right, Madam Clerk.
The board will now consider the consent agenda.
All right, is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Probably moved and second by Commissioner Davis. Are there any questions on any of the items? All right, hearing none. Those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous.
Our next item is item number 17, Resolution 2022-90. Attorney Hancock.
Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, resolution number 22-90 is a resolution amending Clayton County's face mask or face covering policy within county facilities located in unincorporated Clayton County to authorize the chairman to otherwise perform all acts necessary to accomplish the intent of this resolution, to authorize the chief financial officer to amend the budget to reflect an appropriate revenue source and expense as may be required, and to provide an effective date of this resolution and for other purposes.
All right, is there a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
I second it.
All right, any questions?
Yes, I would like some clarity on what this is going to do as far as the county buildings are concerned. Will there still be the temperature checking? Will there still be the distance and all, and even in this boardroom? Will all that be taken away? And also just something specific so our employees and citizens will know what to expect.
Yes, Commissioner. So in essence, it would rescind all of the other pre-requirements that we've had from social distancing and all those other outlined in our code or within our emergency policy. So individuals would not be required to continue with the social distancing. The only requirement, or once not even a requirement, the only option would be if one would like to continue to wear their mask, then certainly we would honor that request. It's really all will be the major change.
Okay, because I noticed I know section 2 and another section, it said for our employees to determine if someone comes in sick or express having a temperature or whatever, that they have the ability to ask, whoever it is to, right. It's not really clear. It's a little contradictory.
It's similar to what will happen with any individual that would be under any type of sick protocol. So somebody come in that may have a fever, it's at the discretion of the supervisor to potentially remove that employee from space so that therefore they can, seek medical attention or not be in the population with others. So it would be similar with COVID-19. If individual is kind of displaying certain symptoms in space, the supervisor can make a decision to then tell the employee to take the respective precautions in light of the fact they're symptomatic.
Okay, so we will keep the temperature monitors or whatever we have. Will those continue to be?
Yes, ma'am. We'll still have them on file. It just won't be mandated they have to go through those checks. Unless, again, an employee comes in and showing certain symptoms that may require the supervisor to escalate the actual symptom check.
Okay, so when I walk in the senior center or into the rec centers, we will no longer have those monitors around.
They may be still there, but they won't be active. It won't dictate whether or not you can come in the facility or not.
Okay. Well, that's a way of taking the temperature, but
Yeah, and nothing keeps them from utilizing those. When the seniors still come in, they still can take their temperatures if they so choose, but it's truly optional. As well as we have placed mass dispenser machines in some of those buildings, the most heavily used buildings. So even if somebody comes in and they don't have a mask and feel like they want to mask up, they still will have the ability to draw a free mask out of the machine and wear
okay.
one.
And we will provide those,
yes.
continue to provide those.
Yes,
That's
ma'am.
correct.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Okay.
Just want to be prepared when they come.
All right, any other questions? Hearing none, those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous. When does it start? Please, sir, it'll start after tonight. Bright and early tomorrow morning. Madam Clerk.
Mr. Chairman, the next items are board appointments.
All right, first board appointment is the Department of Behavioral Health and Behavior Disabilities. Diana Williams' term expired April 2nd, 2022. The Department of Behavioral Health and Disabilities Region 3 Advisory Board, the new term will begin immediately and will expire April 2nd, 2025. This board, you can only serve 2 consecutive terms, therefore Ms. Williams is not eligible. This is at large. Any recommendations? Madam Clerk, hold that till next time. Next board appointment is to the Land Bank. Ms. Tanya Lane resigned and Commissioner Davis nominated her, but she did not accept it. Ms. McGriggs is moving from Clayton County. That is the reason. Therefore, another appointment is needed, and this is at large. Are there any recommendations?
Yes, Mr. Chair. And actually, based upon our work session that we had to ensure that equity is in place, that somebody's represented from each district. District 3 does not have a representative at this time. So I would like to recommend Antonelle Lamar for that role.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions? Those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous.
Thank you, Mr. Lamar.
Next board appointment is to the library board. Mr. Emmanuel Adimo's term on the library board expired May 21st, 2022. New appointment will begin immediately and will expire May 21st, 2015. This is Chairman Turner's recommendation. At this time, I would like to recommend, give me just a second, Andrea Wade. Andrea Wade, is there a second?
Second.
Any questions? Those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous.
Point of order, I believe there may be a discrepancy on the year or some dates that you stated, based on somebody mouthing it to me.
You say what?
It's a 2025 expiration date, Chairman. You said
I said
2015.
2025.
You said 2015.
You sure did.
2025, okay. All right, next board appointments, Veterans Advisory
else
Board,
gotta take
Mr.
the heat.
Wilbert Jordan, term on the Veterans Advisory Board will expire June 6, 2022. New term will be June 6, 2022, and will expire June 6 of 2026. This is also my selection. At this time, I would like to recommend Herbert Ward. Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions? Those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous. Next board appointment is also to the Veterans Advisory Board. Ms. Sparkle Adams' term on the Veterans Advisory Board will expire June 6, 2022, and will begin June 6, 2022, and expire June 6, 2026. This time, I'd like to reappoint Ms. Sparkle Adams. Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions? Those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous. Next board appointments, Veterans Advisory Board, once again. Mr. Miles Adams, a term on the Veterans Advisory Board will expire June 6, 2022. New term begins June 6, 2022, and will expire June 6, 2026. Again, my selection at this time, I'd like to recommend Ms. Perla Glanton. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Hambrick. Are there any questions? Hearing none. Those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous. Madam Clerk.
Mr. Chairman, the next items are zoning hearings. Citizens may speak for or against an item that is considered by law to be a zoning decision, and each side will have 10 minutes to present its case. In the event there is more than one speaker per side, speakers must divide their time in order to complete their full presentation within the 10-minute time allotment. When the time runs out, the speaker will be expected to immediately cease speaking and leave the podium area. Applicants or citizens speaking in favor shall speak first. Applicants in zoning ordinance cases shall have the right to reserve time for rebuttal. Opponents of a zoning decision item shall have no right of rebuttal. When speaking, speak directly into the microphone and begin by stating your name, address, and name of any organization you may represent. Abusive, profane, or derogatory language will not be permitted. Our first zoning item is item number 35, BOC 2110-0164, which is a conditional use permit to allow an existing place of worship with the addition of child care services.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman and Commissioners. My name is Terrence Petrie. I'm the Planning and Zoning Administrator. The applicant, T. Lynn Matthews, is requesting on behalf of New Testament Gospel Word Ministries for a conditional use permit to allow a daycare on an existing place of worship. The acreage is 14.79 acres in the OI Office Institutional Zoning District in Rex, Georgia. And this is located west of the Rock Creek subdivision. Currently, this is the only ORI zoning district in the surrounding area, surrounded by RS 110 single family. It is also in the Parks, Recreation, Conservation future land use map category. The existing church is close to the Fielder Road with parking in front. The request is to allow for 3 classrooms with a total of 36 children, 12 children per classroom. And the ages of the children would be 6 weeks to 5 years. The operation of daycare center is often allowed within a commercial district or non-residential district. And this request does require the conditional use permit, which staff recognizes that this application does not appear to be detrimental to the general public health, safety, or welfare of the surrounding community. And there is no evidence that the proposed child care center will adversely affect the usability of the adjacent properties. And therefore, staff recommends approval of the requested conditional use permit, and the zoning advisory group recommends the same.
Okay, thank you. Is there applicants here? Please come forward. Pastor.
You looking like I gotta come to talk.
That's Pastor T. Lance. She could have prayed. She could have prayed. Get after that.
Okay, state your name for us, and I'm assuming that you're representing the church.
That is correct.
Okay, state your name, and then also if there's any minutes you would like to reserve for rebuttal, usually 2-3 minutes. Your choice to save in a rebuttal should somebody be opposed to your request.
Okay. My name is Rhonda Beckham. Will be acting as the Assistant Director for the Learning Center at New Testament Gospel in Rex, Georgia, and we're requesting for the CUP for the existing building for the child care.
Okay.
Slide.
Oh, you got a presentation? Go, please, go ahead. Well, before, did you want to save any minutes for a rebuttal? You don't have to, but they usually reserve 2 minutes or so.
If needed,
because you only have 10 minutes to speak.
Okay.
It's up to you.
Yes, we'll reserve 2 minutes.
All right, 2 minutes. Put 8 minutes on the clock. Please proceed, ma'am.
Doing the presentation. We're doing the presentation. Okay. Here we have the facility. What we're asking for the CUP, the location of where we're at, which is 6755 Fielder Road in Rex, Georgia. As you see, this is our mission and our philosophy. Our mission is to serve the community, and we'll be serving as a child care center, learning center, providing high-quality child care, affordable for children 6 weeks to 5 years of age, providing jobs for people within the community, as well as serving various challenges and things that's going on. Here you see the building, which is already of existence, and as mentioned earlier, we're asking, there's 3 classrooms that we're trying to get going for the Learning Center. Our center is very much needed, as we know that the population is really increasing and the need for child care is is in great need. Our facility is large enough, as you see. The parking lot area holds about 110 parking spaces for people to come in and out. Those that choose to drop their children off is welcome to do that in a roundabout area, as well as those they can park to go inside the facility. Sorry about that. The Learning Center will offer various things for the people, and as we continue to know, no 2 children are the same. So in saying that, we want to make sure that we provide each child and focus on their individual needs when we have them in our care. Each classroom will hold about 12 children, a ratio of 1 to 6, meaning that we will have 2 teachers per classroom, and making sure that we just provide that focus on each individual need and the service of that child. We will have qualified and experienced teachers, and those that are not already CDA, we will make sure that we provide the adequate training so they can become certified, as well as CPR and first aid.
These are two of the classrooms. You see the preschool area as well as the nursery area. Again, all housing about 405 square feet in size, having anywhere from up to 12 kids in each classroom. Curriculum that would be taught would be the high scope as well as the Houghton Mifflin hardcore, focusing on the early learning and the intervention for each child. Looking at the domains which are very much needed, the social, emotional, the physical skills, literacy, math, science, phonics, and so forth. We will provide balanced meals, both breakfast and lunch, and to include snacks. Again, we want to make sure that we're providing opportunity for these kids to grow and to excel in all areas. This is the last classroom. This is the pre-K classroom. This is for the 4- and 5-year-old. We will also be providing the second language for Spanish as well as technical computer hands-on. This is the area where the children will be eating. We have a playground area which is approximately 16,922 square feet. That includes the slides, the climbers, the swings, and so forth. It's encompassed around with a 54-inch fence to provide the safety. We also have parallel to that a pavement where the kids continue to use the trikes and things to ride. Again, you see the additional spacings that we have for parking. And again, thank you for your attention. With the approval of the CUP, we can provide high quality education, safe environment, individual attention to each child in our care, as well as for the families and providing jobs for the family within the Rex and surrounding communities.
You have something to add, sir?
Yes, I do. I rise to give honor to the board, Mr. Chairman, Mrs. and Mr. Commissioners. My name is Antonio White. I'm in Incorporated Rex, Georgia. I stand in support of this project.
Okay, so hold what you got. We're not, well, you're finished with your presentation now. Okay, so yeah, this is a public hearing, so at this time I will hear from anybody who is in favor of this request. So there you have it.
Before I start though, Mr. Chairman,
yes,
I would like to congratulate Chief Porter. What a great job he has done. Chief Roberts, for a great job he has done in the last 9-10 months. All the fires here, but y'all help me congratulate him. This is for you, Chief. Okay, now.
They both bald. It's okay.
Go ahead, sir.
Well, a couple of years ago, you all came to the citizens of Clayton County and said a penny, it's lots of money, can change the county, and which it did. And I'm looking at this situation with the child care is as that penny, and the children is the county. How much this can do for these children. This, I truly believe you bend a tree when it's young, because when they get old, you won't be able to bend it. This will help build the character of these kids, and also this will be STEM. You know, STEM's not available in Clayton County other than the Bowes Academy in Riverdale. And I really request you all to support this idea and vote and continue the approval to move forward so this project can begin. Thank y'all so much for allowing me to share.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Anybody else like to speak in favor of? Anyone like to speak in favor of the request? All right.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, sir.
I'd like to say something.
We'll come to the podium.
Who are you? Good to have you back. Mr. Chairman, Vice Chair, excuse me, Madam Clerk, Mickey Garber, Unincorporated Rex, Georgia, and members of the board. I would like to speak in favor of this church. Why? The reason is cleanliness is next to godliness, and godliness is next to cleanliness. If cleanliness not only of the mind, heart, and body and soul, but also of the community, where children don't receive respect and cleanliness of our community at home. They don't receive cleanliness from the educational system. Maybe they will receive cleanliness and respect from the church, from which preaching to this, not only from the pulpit, but also to the daycare and the children.
Your time is up, sir. Your time is up.
Well, I was finished anyway.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, at this time, is there anyone who would like to speak in opposition to? Anyone like to speak in opposition to? Seeing and hearing none, Commissioner Anderson.
Good evening. I want to first of all thank Ms. Oliver and Pastor Matthews for your presentation today. I also want to thank you all for speaking on your curriculum. I am familiar with the high scope curriculum and the Houghton Mifflin curriculum as well as STEM. Those are going to be some great curriculums for our smaller babies, pre-K. And you know, the best thing that you all are doing as far as workforce development for District 1 is providing jobs for the people for our community. So I commend you for that and thank you so much. So I just want to say to this board and to everyone here that I move that we approve the applicant T. Lynn Matthews on behalf of New Testament Gospel Worldwide Ministries requesting for a conditional use permit for an existing place of worship with the addition of a child care services within the office, within the OI. And we'll just leave it right there. Thank you.
All right, the motion's to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Probably moved in second. Are there any questions? Hearing none. Those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous.
Thank you.
Pastor Oliver.
Good to see you, Pastor.
Good to see you, Mr. Oliver.
Our next item is item number 36, BOC 2202-0179, which is a CUP.
Hello again, Terrence Petrie, Planning and Zoning Administrator. The applicant has requested a deferral to the next BOC meeting as the measurements for the requested variances have changed. And that's the report.
Is the applicants present? Did they email you, send you a letter, or what?
They did provide the letter that's on the screen.
Okay, Commissioner Davis, how would you like to proceed?
Yes, I received the letter. I move that we defer this until the June 21st meeting.
All right. That's the motion. Is there a second? I'll second the motion. Are there any questions? Those in favor, aye. Aye. Opposed? It's unanimous.
Mr. Chairman, our last item of the evening is item number 37, BOC 2202-0190, which is ACUP, to allow a place of worship.
Good evening again, Terrence Petrie, Planning and Zoning Administrator. The applicant, the Great Commission Church, is requesting a conditional use permit to open a new church within the MX mixed use zoning district. The property is located at 1489 Mundy's Mill Road, specifically within suites 500 and 600. 1489 Mundy's Mill Road is a 4.2 acre commercial plaza. And this is west of the Terra Boulevard and Mundy's Mill Road intersection. Staff and the zoning advisory group has recommended approval with one condition. The total square footage is 4,900 square feet gathering area within this commercial plaza. And the applicant intends to use the existing parking lot area for the designed days of service. There is no evidence that the proposed place of worship will adversely affect the usability of the adjacent properties, and therefore the Our recommendation is approval with the condition that the proposed construction and sanctuary shall be within general conformity of the site plan submitted by the applicant dated March 6, 2022.
Are the applicants here? Please come forward.
Good afternoon.
And before you start your presentation, would you like to reserve any minutes for rebuttal?
Sure.
How many?
I'll go at 2.
2. Place 8 on the clock, and sir, turn it over to you.
Absolutely. Good afternoon, Chairman and members of the board. My name is Onis Hunt, pastor of the Great Commission Church. Accompanied with me today is my beautiful wife of 4 years. We just celebrated our 4-year anniversary last week. Right. Amen. I say amen like I'm in church. I'm just trying to stay within these 7 minutes. I am a pastor. In support today is our first member, Mr. Ali, and also our neighboring business owner, Miss Nicole from the NVS Soul Food Restaurant. 2021, I'll be brief. The Lord gave me a commission. We received a job promotion to move to Atlanta to take a job here from Florida. I turned it down in January because I just didn't feel it was the time. We had just purchased our home. 5 months later, they offered me that same job. Within that time, I kind of felt God transitioning my wife and I into the pastoral role, and we received the push of our leaders to come, and as we transitioned and took the job here in Atlanta, we've just been following God's call to start a church here in the area. We found this awesome space here. And here we go. Let me get to the pictures. We found an awesome space here in Clayton County. We have met some great people since we've been here, and we're just looking forward to do what we feel God has called us to do. One of the things that we want to accomplish, my wife has a heart and a plan for the youth, and she also wants to do things like Poison Val. I'm trying to get to it. I'm sorry, I keep skipping through, y'all. Let's see, get to it here. There it is. So my wife has a vision she wants to accomplish with the young people. One of the things we're seeing in this new dispensation of our youth, a lot of young people are being reared, not knowing how to spread their bed, not knowing how to cook, not knowing how to iron, and all those different things. And my wife has a vision to do this Poison Valor that would train our young people in that era, in that teenage years, to do those different things, and just to foster a safe space where we can have those safe conversations. And so, again, we also have a heart for the youth. And we just want to be free to do what God has called us to do here in Clayton County. So,
all right.
Actually, and I can show you all. This was the space. This is our plan. This is the space when we got it, and so far, this is how it looks.
Okay. End of your presentation.
That's the end of my presentation.
Okay. So this is a public hearing. So is there anyone like to speak in favor of applicant's request? Please come forward, ma'am.
So welcome, and I thank you all for having me here. Oh, Nicole Smith.
Hey, Nicole.
As you all know, Chairman Turner and Commissioner Franklin, I have been doing a lot in the community since 2018 when we started our nonprofit. And to this point, we actually have a restaurant where it's in 1489 Mondays Mill Road, where we're feeding the youth during activities for no cost. One of the things that I want to say in approval and favorship of the church is it will help us with the collaboration that we're trying to do. And Commissioner Franklin, you know about the garden that we've had. Chairman Franklin, you know about how we did the whole.
Please call him Chairman Turner, not Franklin.
I mean,
that's all right. Please. You know, that's just my mama smiling down because he ain't got no act right.
I know. Look, don't Chairman Turner.
Say it again.
All right, so let's start over from start. Start with the Chairman Turner.
Chairman
Don't worry,
Turner.
I got to make the motion.
Okay. Chairman Turner, you know how it was when we did the play. So we want to actually engage and occupy the youth, especially during this time. And that age group that they're talking about, the 13 through 17-year-old, is a group that is really forgotten. And they actually have gone over that pillar of being taken care of, or the parents doing something with them. But this partnership and this church coming into the community, that whole plaza was dead. There was nothing there. And now with them coming, it's going to bring some life to it. And it will also help us as far as our nonprofit and the restaurant goes, and actually occupying that area with the youth and having them something positive to do. So I definitely want to say that I am in total partnership and in total approval of them being my neighbor. I have no issues with them utilizing the parking lot. We actually have a group chat, and we have already communicated with that so that we can all work together to bring some positive influences in our community, because I like Clayton County. And as you all know, we started from the very bottom, and we've gone all the way up to a restaurant and a couple of other businesses here. And we want to stay here, and we want to bring businesses like this that will bring respect and dignity to our county.
Thank you, and thank you for what you're doing in our community, definitely. Is there anyone else like to speak in favor of?
Yes, hello everyone. My name is Ollie, and I'm grateful to Pastor Owen and his wife, Rochelle. Since I met them, we not only, he's my pastor now, but he also is my neighbor. Mm-hmm. And when I first met him and his wife, they put an impression on me that won't leave. I'm more in communication with God now than I ever been. I'm 70 years old, going on 70. And I'm grateful to see a younger person start off with such a plan and be amazed in the things that he's doing for this community, which is Clayton County. I'm just want to be a part of it. And whatever he can help me to do with the will of God working behind us, I think that would be done. I just wanted to say that how I'm amazed at the work he's getting ready to do, because the first one he worked on was me.
Gotcha.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Anybody else like to speak in favor too?
Good evening, everyone. Chairman of the board. Thank you all so much for the opportunity, and I stand with my husband. It was a journey coming here. I always say it's like walking on water, and so I truly stand with this vision. We want to impact not only the spiritual aspect of our community now, but we want to impact our community at large, so that we can reach the young people, reach the, those who are much older, reach, general age group, because we have a love and a heart for people. And so I truly, truly believe in this vision. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Anybody else? Got about 15 seconds.
Coach.
Got about 10 seconds.
Antonella Lamar, unincorporated Jonesboro. I'm in approval of it. And I'm a shameless plug. Lovejoy High School needs you right now in the home of the state champions.
All right, thank you. All right, at this time, anyone who is who's opposed to this request like to speak? Anybody opposed? All right, Commissioner Franklin.
All right, I just got 2 questions. Well, first, what part of Florida are you from? Hush, Dr. Anderson.
I have to say I'm from Jamaica originally.
I heard it.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
But I'm from Port St. Lucie, Florida.
Oh, beautiful.
Yes,
beautiful.
ma'am.
All right, so I just need to know what kind of food y'all gonna have after church. So thank you so much for
I love to
letting me know.
cook. I do love to cook.
And I love good Jamaican
Yes,
food.
ma'am.
But you all make me proud to be commissioner of District 3. I can't stop smiling enough because the people that came up and spoke on your behalf, they truly represent our community, and even from the other young lady that's doing the race, y'all are just the heart of our community. And with that being stated, I look forward to working with you. The only thing I do have another question of, and I'm so glad you're here, Mr. Hancock, is there any way at all that I can add in a mobile lab to this so we can get that approved too? I'm trying, Nicole. Because it's a CUP with conditions. Can I add a condition?
Would you want to add a condition to require a mobile lab?
Yes.
Okay.
To allow it.
I'm sorry?
Yes.
You could add that if they will consent to it. It's not a condition that you can add as a matter of right.
If they consent to it, it can happen. So y'all already been talking, right? We already community. Pastor, can you please help, because you're going to have use of this mobile lab. I've seen it. Will you please consent for use of that mobile lab right there in y'all area, sir?
Yes.
Ooh, you about to make me shout.
Come on, we can
I'll
shout
make
together.
a recommendation that we approve it along with the mobile lab. Where there's a will, there's a way. Thank you, Nicole.
All right, that's the motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Anderson. Any questions?
No, we just look forward to great things in this corridor.
Any questions? Still got to ask the question. Any questions? All right, hearing none. Those in favor, aye. Opposed? It's unanimous. Congratulations.
Hey to the man. Thank you,
Now, that was the last item, and there's no need for an executive session tonight. But also, I'd like to take this opportunity to congratulate our new clerk of the court, Miss Courtney Russian. Give her a round of applause. She's been the assistant for a while, and now she's moved up to the clerk, and she's going to do a great job for us. So,
Don't forget about
congratulations.
Don't forget about new zoning person. You did a great job, sir.
We already introduced them.
Thank you, Madam Commissioner.
Hold on a second. All right, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
I'll second. Those in favor, aye. Aye. Opposed? It's unanimous.